Would you believe me if I told you that a tiny, seemingly ordinary penny from 1984 could be worth $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. $1 million for a single cent. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we talk all things coins, money, and that thrilling feeling when you realize you've got treasure right in your pocket change. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1984 D Lincoln penny that could make you rich beyond your wildest coin flipping dreams. So stick around, because we're about to strike gold, or, well, copper in this case. You're rummaging through an old piggy bank, thinking you're about to find, I dunno, $5 and change, max? Then, you find a penny from 1984, minted in Denver, looking as unremarkable as your Monday morning face before coffee. But guess what? This particular penny could be worth more than a mansion. Sounds crazy, right? So let's break down why and what makes it special. First off, it's all about those rare mint errors. The 1984 D penny isn't valuable just for being old. It's special because some coins from this year have unique and hard-to-find flaws. You see, when a coin is being minted, mistakes can happen, just like when you try to take a selfie and end up with a double chin. For these pennies, collectors are hunting down errors like a doubled die, where parts of the design appear doubled, and other abnormalities that make these coins super rare and valuable. One of the most coveted errors is when Lincoln's features or the lettering on the coin are slightly doubled. This might be as subtle as the way your dog gives you side-eye when you don't share your snacks, but trust me, collectors go wild for these details. A perfectly imperfect 1984 D penny can be worth, you guessed it, up to $1 million, if it's in pristine condition and has the right error. Just imagine that, you find this penny, and instead of being broke, you're rolling in cash like Scrooge McDuck. Well, almost. Now I know what you're thinking. Okay, fine, this penny is valuable, but where does the humor come in? Well, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I found a penny that I thought for sure would make me rich. I brought it to a coin shop, chest puffed out like I was a treasure hunter. The guy there took one look and said, "Yeah, this is only worth a penny." Talk about a blow to the ego. But hey, that's part of the thrill, right? But in all seriousness, checking your 1984 pennies is worth the shot. Grab a magnifying glass, a cup of coffee, and get inspecting. Who knows? You might find a life-changing coin in that big jar labeled loose change. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, we've come to the end of today's journey into the world of the 1984 D Lincoln penny. Remember, not every penny is a jackpot, but when it comes to rare coins, knowledge is your best investment. So, what are you waiting for? Go raid your car's cup holders, dive into your couch cushions, and search for those copper coins that could make you a millionaire. And hey, if you enjoyed today's video and want more tips, tricks, and fascinating stories about coins worth money, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, your wallet will thank you later. Oh, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a penny you thought was special. I'd love to hear your stories, even if they ended in, and it was still only a penny. We're diving into the 1985 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark, the plain oil penny that might just make you a millionaire. Intrigued? Let's jump into this fascinating coin tale, and don't worry, I'll make it worth your 2 cents, or maybe even 1 million of them. Okay, let's get into it. The 1985 no mint mark Lincoln penny is from the Philadelphia Mint. And here's the fun part, when I say no mint mark, I mean you won't find a P, D, or S under the date. Just pure, mint mark-free copper goodness. It's like the penny decided to go minimalist. No mark, no stress. So, why is this penny potentially worth $1 million? Well, let me take you on a wild journey through what makes some coins so valuable. Spoiler alert, it has to do with errors, rarity, and some good old-fashioned collector obsession. But before we go too deep, let me tell you a quick story. True story, once, as a kid, I saved up 200 pennies, convinced I was basically rich. I walked into a candy store, ready to splurge on a sugar high, and the cashier looked at me like I'd just offered to pay in Monopoly money. The horror! Now, if one of those pennies had been $1 million 1985 no mint mark Lincoln cent, well, let's just say that candy store would have looked very different, like mine. Okay, back to the 1985 penny. Here's what to look for. First, check the date. If it's 1985 and there's no mint mark, you're off to a great start. Next, examine its condition. Coins in pristine, mint state condition, which means they haven't been tossed around or scratched up too badly, are the ones that have collectors drooling, and occasionally throwing down crazy sums of money. And don't underestimate a good error. Some 1985 pennies have minting mistakes, like double dies or weird misalignments. Those quirks can multiply a coin's value faster than you can say cha-ching. The record price for a 1985 penny without a mint mark hit a staggering $1 million at an auction. That's like finding out your favorite snack has been a gourmet delicacy all along. Now I know what you're thinking. Should I start a coin search party at home? The answer is absolutely. Go dig up those piggy banks, and if you're anything like me, make a game out of it. Loser has to organize the mess of coins afterward. Trust me, it keeps things exciting. But remember, it's not all about luck. Sometimes these treasures really do just show up. And hey, even if you don't strike it rich, you'll have an awesome story. Like, yeah, I once spent 2 days analyzing every penny in my jar. That's a pretty unique party anecdote, right? Alright, folks, that's the lowdown on the 1985 no mint mark Lincoln penny that could change your life. Keep your eyes peeled, check your spare change, and remember, every penny counts, sometimes literally. If you enjoyed this coin adventure and want more tips on coins worth real money, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and maybe even share it with a friend who could use a $1 million surprise. Who knows? You could be their new favorite person. We're diving into the juicy details of the 1988 Lincoln 1 cent without a mint mark, the tiny copper miracle that could change your life. Okay, first things first, let's talk about what makes this little piece of copper so special. So, back in 1988, the US Mint cranked out millions of these coins. But there's a sneaky error that makes some of them worth a fortune: the absence of a mint mark. Most pennies from that era should have a little D or S indicating where they were minted. But if yours is missing that mark, you've got a contender. Now let me paint a picture for you. Picture this: you're digging through your coin jar, hoping to scrape together enough for a midnight snack run, when bam! There it is, a 1988 penny, smooth and mysterious, without a mint mark in sight. Suddenly, you're not just shopping for chips, you're thinking Ferrari. Laughs, all because of a tiny minting error. Wild, right? Okay, let's rewind a bit. Why no mint mark, you ask? Sometimes these errors happen when dies, the metal stamps used to imprint coins, get misaligned or don't have the correct details. In 1988, the mint workers must have had one of those days. You know, the kind where your coffee spills, and you realize you sent a text to the wrong person. Relatable? Pause for effect. Well, for them, it resulted in a coin that now has collectors salivating over a fat wallet. Speaking of mistakes, let me tell you about a time I learned the value of looking closely at coins. I once found a penny on the sidewalk, shiny as new. My heart skipped a beat as I picked it up. Could it be my $1 million payday? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Just a regular penny. But I still spent 20 minutes comparing it to every photo of rare coins I could find. Smiling now, whenever I see a penny, I look twice. Who's with me on that one? Alright, let's get to the meat of it, the market value. These 1988 no mint mark pennies don't pop up every day, but when they do, collectors go nuts. The highest recorded auction was a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. Now, not every no mint mark penny is going to fetch that price, but even lower grade ones could still be worth a substantial amount. It all depends on condition, rarity, and how deep a collector's pockets are. The trick is to make sure your coin is authenticated. You don't want to be that person who thinks they're sitting on a fortune, only to find out it's worth, well, a penny. Wink, a little tip for all you aspiring treasure hunters: invest in a magnifying glass and a lot of patience. Checking for mint marks is like a Where's Waldo puzzle, but with higher stakes. And if you're anything like me, you'll find yourself showing your penny collection to your friends and saying, "Look, it's almost worth 2 million," and they'll smile and nod, probably thinking you've lost your marbles. Laughs, so there you have it. The 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Proof that tiny details can mean big money. Who knew a little copper coin could be your ticket to the Millionaires Club? If you've got one of these in your possession, you're sitting on a potential gold mine, well, copper mine. Playful grin. Cut to you holding a jar of pennies and giving a thumbs up. Before you go sprinting to your piggy bank, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more coin hunting secrets and tales of unexpected fortunes. Who knows? The next video might just reveal your next treasure. And hey, share this with a friend, because who couldn't use a friendly reminder to check their spare change? We're diving into the mystery of the 1993 D Lincoln 1-cent penny, one of the most surprising and valuable coins out there. Okay, let's get into it. So, the 1993 D penny. It's just a regular old penny from the Denver Mint, right? But somehow, this little guy has managed to sneak its way into the world of multi-million-dollar collectibles. And before you start thinking, "Oh, this must be some super rare, never seen before era coin," let me tell you, it's not what you're probably thinking. This is actually a coin with a minting error that makes it one of the hottest collectibles on the market. The magic behind this penny is an error known as a double die obverse. It's like the coin went to a party, had too much to drink, and just couldn't stop stamping itself. So, if you take a good look at the 1993 or Liberty on the obverse side, that's the front of the coin, by the way, you might notice a faint doubling effect. It's like a ghost version of the letters and numbers. It's not a typical feature you'd find on your everyday penny. This is the kind of mistake that turns a regular coin into something worth serious money. I actually have a funny story about this. I once found a penny in my driveway and thought, just a penny. So I tossed it in my coin jar, which, let's be real, was more like a jar of dirt, old receipts, and forgotten fortunes. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I was sorting through my treasures when I pulled out a 1983 penny, and guess what? It had an error. Not as rare as the 1993 D, but it was worth a couple of bucks. And I felt like a coin collector billionaire. Moral of the story? Always check your change, you never know what you'll find. Now, back to this 1993 D beauty. The penny itself is worth around $1.8 million. Yes, I know, that sounds insane, but it's been sold for that kind of money in auctions. Why? Well, because very few of these double die era coins made it into circulation. Most of them got caught early in the minting process and were tossed aside, making the ones that survived incredibly rare. Now, before you get too excited and start diving into every penny jar you own, let's clear something up. Not every 1993 D penny is worth a fortune. Oh no, my friends, it has to have that magical double die error, and it has to be in pretty good condition, usually a high grade like MS65 or better, to fetch that sweet $1.8 million price tag. And I know, you're thinking, but wait, I've got a jar full of 1993 D pennies. Well, hang on a second. Not all of them are going to make you rich. If you want to know for sure, you've got to inspect each penny carefully. Look for that doubled 1993 or Liberty text, check the overall condition, and maybe, just maybe, you'll stumble across a gem. And listen, don't be discouraged if your penny doesn't turn out to be worth millions. It's all part of the fun of coin hunting. Plus, even without an error, 1993 D pennies are still a cool piece of history. So, hold on to those pennies with pride. So, folks, what have we learned today? The 1993 D Lincoln penny isn't just another coin sitting in your change jar. It's a potential gold mine, or at least a penny mine, if you know what to look for. If you've got some spare time and a penny jar lying around, get searching. And hey, if you find one, you might just become the next person to make a serious coin discovery. Before I go, let me know in the comments, have you ever found a coin that was worth more than you thought? I'd love to hear about your experiences. And hey, If you want more tips on rare and valuable coins, strategies for spotting treasures, or just some fun coin talk, hit that subscribe button and join the crew. 1994 Lincoln Penny. I mean, we've all had a few too many of them rolling around in our couch cushions, right? But here's the deal. There's a very specific 1994 penny out there that has collectors losing their minds, and it's worth an absurd amount of money. So, what makes this penny so special? It's the infamous no mint mark penny. You see, every year, the US Mint stamps coins with either a mint mark, for coins produced in specific locations, or nothing at all, like the 1994 penny we're talking about. The regular pennies from 1994, produced in Philadelphia, are supposed to have a P mint mark. But for some weird reason, a tiny number of 1994 pennies were struck without the mint mark. Cue dramatic music. These mysterious no mint mark pennies have become so rare and highly sought after by collectors that their value skyrocketed to over $1.7 million. Yep, that's no joke. To put that into perspective, you could buy a pretty sweet car with that kind of cash, or, buy a lot of other pennies. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, how do I know if my 1994 penny is worth millions? Well, let me walk you through the steps to identify it. Look for the absence of the mint mark. This penny should have NO letter beneath the date, 1994. If you find a P, sorry, that's just a regular penny. Inspect the condition. This coin needs to be in good shape to fetch that big price. We're talking about a mint condition coin here, folks. A penny that's shiny, with no scratches, and ideally one that's been well taken care of. Get it appraised. If you're lucky enough to have one of these rare pennies, the next step is to get it appraised by a professional. Trust me, it's worth the investment to know exactly how much it's worth. Now, before you start rushing to your change jar and trying to spot the next hidden treasure, let me tell you a funny little story from my own coin hunting days. A few years ago, I thought I hit the jackpot when I found an old penny from 1955. I was doing my best Indiana Jones impersonation, with the flashlight and everything, ready to make my fortune. I thought, this is it. I'm gonna be rich. Then, after doing some research, I realized it was just a common, run-of-the-mill penny. I was so disappointed. But hey, at least I didn't have to go on an archaeological dig for it. So, while not every penny is worth millions, there are some out there that could be hiding in plain sight, waiting to make you rich. So, check your coin jars, your piggy banks, and even your car's cup holder. You never know what you might find. If you think you've got one of these elusive 1994 no mint mark pennies, you might just be sitting on a fortune. If you enjoyed learning about this rare penny and maybe laughed at my Indiana Jones story, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips on rare coins, strategies for spotting hidden treasures, and all things numismatic. I've got more tips, tricks, and coin hunting stories coming your way, so hit that bell icon so you never miss out. Well, what if I told you that one single penny could be worth more than your entire car? Or your house? That's right, I'm talking about the 1996 Lincoln penny worth $1.6 million. Sounds like a joke, but it's not. And today, we're diving into why this tiny coin has such a huge value and how you might be sitting on a gold mine and not even know it. Seriously, when I first heard about this penny, I thought someone was pulling my leg. I mean, it's just a penny, right? It's the same kind of penny I've tossed into a wishing fountain, hoping for good luck, only to find out that luck might have been sitting in my pocket all along. So stick with me, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to share how you can spot one of these rare treasures, why they're worth so much, and how you might just turn your coin collection into a small fortune. Alright, let's start with the basics. What makes this penny so special? It's all about the 1996 Lincoln penny with a rare, minting error. Now I know what you're thinking, 1996. That's not that old. But that's the beauty of it. This penny was minted during the 1996 series, but here's the kicker, some of these coins have a D mint mark, and a mistake that makes them a goldmine for collectors. Now, when we think of rare pennies, we usually imagine the ones from the 1800s, right? But nope. This little guy, with its distinct 1990-60 mark, has been known to fetch around $1.6 million at auction. That's not a typo, $1.6 million. Can you imagine finding this in your spare change? I mean, one day you're grabbing coffee with a couple of pennies to spare, and the next thing you know, you're staring at a small fortune in your palm. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what makes this penny so special? Was it made with solid gold? Sadly, no. The reason it's worth so much is due to a minting error where the coins were struck with a double die, a kind of mistake that left the letters and numbers on the coin looking double imprinted. And when these coins are in good condition? That's when the money starts rolling in. Here's the thing, not every 1990-60 penny is worth $1.6 million. That would be way too easy. To make the big bucks, the penny needs to have the double die error and be in excellent condition. We're talking about coins that have barely seen any circulation. So, if you have a 1990-60 penny that's worn down, faded, or spent years at the bottom of your coin jar, well, maybe it's time to stop hoping it'll turn into a small fortune. But hey, there's hope. I actually found a few pennies in my own collection once that I thought were junk. But after a little research, guess what? They were in much better condition than I realized, and I almost sold them for a few bucks before I did my homework. Moral of the story: check your coins before you throw them away. It could save you a ton of regret later on. And hey, you never know, your next penny might just be the jackpot. So, how do you find a 1990-60 penny with this error? It's pretty simple, really. Just flip your pennies over and check for the D mint mark beneath Lincoln's chest. Then, give the coin a closer look, preferably under a magnifying glass or a loupe. You want to look for the distinct doubling on the date and the words Liberty and In God We Trust. This is where the magic happens. If you see that double die, you might just have a winner on your hands. Alright, here's the moment of truth. Let's talk about how you can cash in on your find. If you do happen to come across one of these 1990-60 pennies with the double die error, take it to a professional coin appraiser. Don't just assume it's worth a fortune. Get it graded, authenticated, and properly evaluated by experts. And if you're lucky enough to have one in great condition, you might be holding on to a $1.6 million coin. Now, I know it sounds like a dream, but in the world of coin collecting, this kind of thing happens more often than you think. It's not always about luck, it's about knowledge. And I'm here to make sure you don't miss out. So, if you want to stay ahead of the curve and learn more about coins that could be worth a ton of money, hit that subscribe button and join the community. And hey, if you find that 1990-60 penny and turn it into $1 million fortune, remember where you heard it first. I'll take 10%, just kidding. But seriously, subscribe, like, and comment below if you've ever found a coin that blew your mind. I want to hear your stories. 2002 D Lincoln Penny and find out what makes it worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Stick around, you're going to want to know if that penny for your thoughts is actually $1 million investment. Alright, let's get down to business. The 2002 D Lincoln Penny is one of those rare coins that could fly under the radar for most people. At first glance, it's just another penny from the early 2000s, right? Wrong. This coin has a story, and it's not your typical change. We're talking about a special variety that has some pretty bizarre features. But hold on. Before you start rummaging through your couch cushions thinking you're sitting on a gold mine, let me tell you exactly why this penny is so valuable and how you can spot it. First, let's talk about the mint mark. For this rare penny, it has to have a D mint mark. That's right, folks, a D, which means it was made at the Denver Mint. Not just any D mint penny, though. This particular penny was struck with a misaligned die. And when I say misaligned, I mean a little more than just oops, I spilled my coffee on the coin press kind of mistake. We're talking about a major error, making the coin misprinted in a way that, over the years, has skyrocketed its value. And trust me, when I say misaligned die, I don't mean it as a metaphor for every time I miss my goals in life. I'm talking about a literal misalignment in the minting process that resulted in this super rare coin. Now, let's talk about the money part, because hey, we all want to know how much it's worth. Depending on the condition, the 2002 Lincoln penny with this era can fetch anywhere from a few $100 to up to $1.5 million. Yup, that's no typo. This coin has made a splash in the coin collecting world, and some lucky individuals have made a small fortune from it. You could have one of these pennies without even realizing it. And look, I know what you're thinking, how did I never find this coin? Well, believe me, I've had my fair share of I thought I was rich moments. Like the time I thought I found a rare 1971 penny, only to realize I was just looking at a regular old 71 coin after getting all hyped up. Major facepalm moment. But trust me, when you find the right one, this could change everything. Now, if you're ready to go treasure hunting, here's what you need to know to find your $1 million penny. Check out the mint mark. It's gotta be from the Denver Mint. Look for that D. Then, make sure you're checking the edges for that misalignment. If the date, or parts of Lincoln's face, seem a little off-center or blurry, you've found yourself a winner. And don't forget to check the condition. Coins that are in near-perfect shape can be worth the most. Think of it like a coin detective moment. You might not get a magnifying glass and a trench coat, but you should get your hands on a good magnifier. Or just use your phone's camera to zoom in, so you can see those details clearly. So, there you have it, folks. The 2002 Lincoln penny with the misaligned die is not your typical everyday penny. It's a little minting error that could lead to big bucks if you find one. It's proof that sometimes, small things really do make a huge difference. Who knew a simple penny could be worth a fortune, right? Now, if you want to keep finding hidden treasures like this one and learn about even more rare coins that could be sitting in your collection, you've got to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on tips, tricks, and more coin knowledge that could change the way you look at your loose change forever. Oh, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a coin that made you think, this is it. I'm rich. Or if you've made a hilarious coin mistake, like me with my 1971 penny. Don't forget to hit that bell icon, so you never miss a treasure hunt. Thanks for tuning in, and good luck with your coin hunting. Who knows, you might be the next millionaire. We're talking about one of those dream coins, the 2060 Lincoln cent. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this little penny has a mind-blowing value of, wait for it, $1.9 million. Yes, you heard me right, $1.9 million for a freaking penny. You might want to check your couch cushions, like, right now. Now, before you rush off to find your piggy bank and start flipping pennies, let's break down what makes this penny so crazy valuable. Stick around, because I've got some juicy tips that could make your next coin hunt a little more profitable, and maybe even a tad less stressful than my last experience. Okay, so what's so special about the 2060 Lincoln penny? For most of us, pennies are just, well, pennies. But this one? This one is a game changer. It's part of the Lincoln cent series minted by the US Mint, and while they were made in droves, around billions of them, one of them managed to slip through the cracks with an incredibly rare flaw that makes it worth a small fortune. Now, let's get into the specifics. The 2060 penny that could fetch $1.9 million isn't just any regular penny, it's a double die penny. What does that mean? Well, double die refers to a mistake during the minting process. Essentially, the die used to stamp the design onto the coin was misaligned. This results in a double imprint on the numbers and letters, which gives the coin a distinct, blurry look in certain spots. On a standard 2060 penny, you might see the year 2006 and Liberty looking clean and sharp. But on the double die, those details are multiplied, with some of the letters and numbers appearing twice. It's like a weird optical illusion. And as crazy as it sounds, collectors go nuts over these little flaws. One of these misprints recently sold for nearly $2 million, and it could have been sitting in your pocket all along. You just need to know how to spot it. Here's my pro tip for you. If you've got a 2060 penny, grab a magnifying glass and look closely at the date and the word Liberty. Does it look like a ghost image of the numbers or letters beside the original ones? That's your double die, and if you've got one of these in decent condition, you could be holding on to a small fortune. But, and this is important, don't start getting too attached to the pennies you find just yet. I remember the first time I thought I'd found a rare coin in a roll of pennies I picked up at the bank. I spent hours analyzing it under a magnifying glass, feeling like a treasure hunter in a movie, only to find out it was just a regular, boring penny. Ugh. But hey, it's all part of the adventure. So, to recap, the 2060 Lincoln cent with a double die error can be worth up to $1.9 million. But keep in mind, finding one of these rare gems isn't as easy as checking your change jar. You've got to look for that double imprint on the date, or Liberty. And if you don't find one today, don't worry. That's how this hobby works. It's about the hunt, the thrill of discovery, and the joy of learning along the way. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on how to find rare coins and maximize the value of your collection, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on the next big find, and who knows? Maybe your next penny is worth a small fortune. So, until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and remember, the real treasure is the knowledge you pick up along the way, and maybe $1 million coin or two. Catch you later. Well, get ready to have your mind blown as we dive into the amazing world of rare pennies, and this 2017 P Mint Mark Lincoln penny that has some serious value on the market. No, this isn't a prank, and yes, this penny could change your life. Cut to a quick zoom in on the penny with dramatic music, then cut to you smiling. Stay tuned, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna show you exactly how to spot this goldmine in your pocket change, and maybe, just maybe, turn that penny jar you've been ignoring into a small fortune. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's get into it. Cut to you sitting at a table with a few pennies laid out, casually sorting through them. Alright, first things first. The 2017 Lincoln penny, which, by the way, has been around for over 100 years now, which is just wild, doesn't look that different from the thousands of other pennies you'll find rolling around in your pocket. I mean, honestly, most people are tossing these little guys away like they're worthless. But hold up, don't throw them just yet. So here's where it gets interesting. The 2017 penny, which has a mint mark of P, yes, you heard me right, the P mint mark, became super special because of a unique error that occurred during its production. What makes this penny so valuable? Well, it's not just that it's from 2017, it's because some of these pennies were struck with a doubling error on the design. Cut to a close-up of the error, pointing to it with a finger. Take a look at this. You see how the word Liberty looks a little squished or stretched in certain spots? That's because the penny got doubled during the minting process. The machine hit it twice, and instead of getting a clean, crisp image like it was supposed to, the details started to blur. This error is super rare, and when they happen on a 2017 P penny, collectors go wild for them. Now, here's where the magic happens. You may be thinking, but it's just a penny, what's the big deal? And that's where you're wrong. While 99.9% of pennies like this are just hanging out, no one cares about them, that small percentage of 2017 P mint mark error pennies, we're talking about a tiny, tiny percentage, are selling for $1 million. Yes, million with an M. You lean in a little closer to the camera, as if sharing a secret. I know, you're probably staring at your screen thinking, wait, did this guy just say a penny worth $1.5 million? And the answer is yes, I did. But don't go running to the nearest coin shop just yet. Let me give you some tips on how to spot these $1 million pennies so you don't miss out. Cut to a graphic showing how to identify a 2017 P mint mark Lincoln penny. Step 1. Check for the P mint mark. This is essential. If the mint mark looks funny or smudged, you might have one of those error pennies we're talking about. Step 2. Look for doubling on the letters. Pay special attention to Liberty and In God We Trust. If they seem more blurry or thicker than usual, you could be holding on to something super valuable. Cut to you holding up a magnifying glass. Step 3. Get yourself a good magnifying glass. A regular pair of glasses might not cut it. You need to see those tiny little details clearly. Trust me, it's worth it when you're staring down a possible $1 million coin. Cut to a shot of you playfully holding up a normal, non-valuable penny. But don't get too excited just yet. Let's be real, most of us will never stumble upon a penny worth $1,000,000. I mean, I've been collecting coins for years, and I'm still waiting for my own lottery ticket to show up in my change jar. Cut to a quick flashback-style shot of you at a grocery store, rummaging through your pocket change. I swear, I've seen more times than I'd like to admit when I paid for a soda and found nothing but a bunch of crumpled-up receipts and a few cents in change. It's like the universe is messing with me. But hey, we keep searching, right? So don't give up, keep checking your pennies, because that one lucky penny could be sitting in your drawer waiting to make you rich. Alright, folks, that's the inside scoop on the 2017 Mint Mark Lincoln penny worth a mind-blowing $1.5 million. Remember, the key is spotting those rare minting errors, especially doubling on the design. Keep your eyes peeled and your magnifying glasses ready. But here's the kicker, if you want more tips on finding coins worth money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and turn on notifications. You never know when that next $1,000,000 penny is going to pop up, and trust me, you want to be the first to know.